Hello everyone, this is Joanna the Median. Thank you so much for coming back. And for those who of you who are new, thank you so much for joining, and I hope you like what you see. This is going to be your June forecast. I hate the word forecast because I don't predict per se. Your June reading, intuitive reading, let's put it that way. An exciting month. I feel there's a lot of changes we're all going through, and I've been seeing that from you as well. Bear in mind, these are general readings, which means they will not connect with everyone. If it did, I don't think that's even possible. They do, interestingly, connect with a lot of you. Pieces may connect with you, some pieces may not. It may not connect with you one day and totally connect with you a day later or a week later. So do listen to this whenever you listen first and then at the end of the month, because they do make much more sense. Also, because these are general, listen to it to the other signs, your moon sign and your rising sign, as well as sun sign, because they will offer you a lot more information oftentimes. And of course, these are general, like I mentioned, so it's impossible for me to cover everybody. And if you would like a private session, that information is down below for you. I decided to do Uranus readings, so I will be doing those within the next couple of weeks. I will let you know when they are done, and I will focus on the entire 7 years of what we can expect for each sign, and that's how my guides are asking me to present this. So it'll be a big picture. So stay tuned. I will be announcing when that will be ready. And I think that's all I have. Have yourself a wonderful month of June. For those of you who have birthdays in June, happy birthday. And without further ado, let's move on with individual signs. I'll see you in a bit. Hello, beautiful Scorpios. This is going to be a reading for the month of June 2018. Let me go through some channeled messages first. The moment I wrote the word Scorpio, I wrote a heart. So right away, it told me that whatever is happening in the month of June will have a lot of emotional component to it. This could be because you will be working on your emotions. Something will come up that will stir things up emotionally. But there's a feeling here of a lot of healing, and that's also in the cards when it comes to emotions. I actually heard them say to me, don't neglect your heart. So for some of you, this is a kind reminder to take care of your health, physically speaking. And for others of you, don't neglect your heart, as in don't neglect your emotions. Don't neglect how you feel. Don't neglect what your heart is trying to tell you. Hugely, hugely important. The other vision I had is somebody playing soccer or having fun. So to me, this suggests several things. Some of you might be playing on a team. Some of you should be playing in order to get the health benefits from it. And for some of you, this is simply just saying that you need to have some fun in your life now. It's obviously always very important, but particularly right now as you are going through some significant changes. And in all fairness, we're all going through it, but whatever I'm being asked to say, I just kind of follow the directions. The numbers around you are 3, 4, and the number 7. So to me, 7 represents very spiritual number. Obviously, it's the month of July, but there is a significance with this for me because it represents going through a time where, going through a period of your life where there is a significant opportunity to understand yourself very differently. So there is an aspect of you mastering something that you have been troubled by for quite some time. This is emotional mastery. It's mastering a certain aspect of yourself that you have been struggling with. And I can see here where this is going. 3 is all about expansion. So as we move to higher frequencies, as we expand in our mind and our hearts and our minds and our hearts, we will eventually have to make some changes. So basically what I'm trying to say is as you're going through this time, which is a time of expansion, it's a time of birth, it's a time of being more than you currently are, it will affect your relationships, it will affect your foundations. And By foundations, I mean things that are your stability, your belief system, your home, your work, your friends, the fundamental things in our life. Because you're going through a process of moving away from the old, some of your foundations will need to be looked at. What do I mean by this? Some of your belief systems will need to be addressed and decided upon whether you should believe what you believed or you want to try something different and see how that works for you. For some of you, this is stability within a home where you're choosing to make some drastic changes in order for you to feel better, whatever that means for you. And for some of you, it's just simply changing an apartment because you are getting you want to grow bigger, you want to have more stuff, or your family's growing, whatever it is. That's going to be for very few of you. So then I went with the cards. I asked for 3 cards to signify your focus. Well, a whole bunch of them came out, and there's actually 5, and I felt very much like I needed to put them all out. So one of the things that's coming up for you right now is actually the card called Not For You. And I want to say that this is resistance to change. There's something with you resisting to change. Some situation in your life is not meant to be for you. So if you are wanting something to work and it's not working out, then the message is this isn't for you. Or you are contemplating on something that you know deep inside really isn't that great. The message is listen to your intuition. And for some of you, you might be looking at doing something that is, I want to say it, inappropriate. I don't know why I'm saying it. And you're being urged not to do that. So that message is very specific for somebody. And inappropriate, it could be anything, right? So whatever that means to you. But for many of you, this is about a decision of moving on. So if you are contemplating staying in a situation that clearly isn't working out, then maybe one of the things that you may need to look at is it time to move on? Now, the next card you have is Unfinished Symphony. So this is talking about past hurts that have not been resolved, that haven't been integrated. The pain has not been addressed, or it has not been addressed fully in order for you to let it go. So there's something here about needing to let go of an old habit, of an old pain, an old resentment, something that is keeping you stuck or has the potential to keep you stuck, needs to be looked at. The next card you have is Poised in reverse. And what this is basically saying to me is that though you may want to start new, you're not quite ready yet. And I feel you're not quite ready yet is because some of you are still stuck to an aspect of your past that you are trying to avoid dealing with, or you're trying to forget, and it's not working very effectively. One of the other messages you have here is you have the card of Breathe again in reverse. And what this is saying here is if you've gotten to a point where you're not feeling anything, like you feel kind of motionless or stuck or just blah, like you just don't want to do anything, do something that inspires you. Go to a park, go for a walk, go play soccer, go kick some ball around, do something to get you out of your rut, because I could see how some of you might be sitting in some situation that feels like slightly uncomfortable. And then you have exchanging gifts. So what I'm seeing here is for many of you, this is around you needing to learn how to appreciate yourself more and how to accept gifts. And when I say gifts, I don't mean like, I'm giving you a gift. How to allow things to come forward, how to accept things from other people, how to accept love from other people. And I always say we could have a gazillion things standing at our doorsteps, but if we do not know how to receive, that's a problem. The other card message of this card indicates that if you are wanting something really, really bad, make sure you know what you are signing up yourself for. Why? Because it may be that once you get it, you realize you're not ready for it, or it's not really what you want anyway. And perhaps this is why this card is coming up, not for you. Let me just see if there's anything. There's rejection around this message here for me. So for some of you, you have felt rejected, and you're clinging on to something that is not for you. There's some form of rejection here, and the rejection could also be the unfinished business. Okay, and if we have been rejected over and over or hurt very, very deeply, we will have a tendency to close ourselves off, and that will definitely not help us receive, because when we're closed off trying to fight the invaders coming in to hurt us, we're also closing ourselves off from receiving love and everything else that comes with it. So those are your focused messages. I feel this one here is one of the most important ones, as well as the unfinished business, which is looking at your things from your past and not letting those things taint your life going forward. Now, I asked for animal spirit messages, and again, they blew up, and something again told me to put all of them out. So there's 5, and they all talk about basically the same thing, which is transformation. You have the snake, which is your pure potential. So the month of June, and I want to say this will be felt in June, but it will go on for a while for you, for some of you. This is about taking the time to tap in your potential. And I'm hearing my guide said, well, they want to know how. By organizing your thoughts and realizing which of the thoughts that you think about most often help you achieve what you desire or hinder you from it. So this is about taking inventory of your belief system, which then governs your words, how you speak, how you see things, and everything else. So there's a highlight here of tapping into your greatness. Some of that could be by doing something different, something new, something innovative that you are totally passionate about. Because I feel like something is trying to crack you open, is what I want to say. The next message you have is Sea Serpent, which is all about healing past wounds so that you can go on and other people can go on. Now, this is very similar to the unfinished business. Pretty much the same message. So when it's coming up in 2 different decks and the message is the same, there's something big here. So many of you will be letting go, releasing, learning how to heal. What does it mean to heal something from the past? Does it mean to erase it? No, we can't do that. It means various different things, and there's lots of help for you out there, but a lot of you will be dealing with some sort of emotional trauma that has happened in the past that you're still carrying on with you. Now, keep looking at what I wrote here. Don't neglect your heart. This is about releasing pain from, this is emotions. This is releasing pain from your heart. And certainly if you have pain in your heart because you have been rejected, most definitely you will have difficulty receiving. Absolutely 100 gazillion%. And I know it. Ask me how. Well, I've gone through it. So that is a message on healing. Then you have Peacock, and Peacock is all about feeling self-worth. Peacock believes in himself or herself. It doesn't question who he is. It doesn't question who he should be. He simply is very proud of who he is inside. So if, again, you have felt rejected at some point, chances are it didn't make you feel very good. This is message for you to align yourself more with who you are, not who you perceive yourself to be because of your experiences. Our experiences shape us, but they don't have to define us. And if you have been identifying yourself as someone less than on any level, the message here is let go of the pain and just own you, and be proud of it. Then you have the crocodile, and brilliant, because the crocodile to me represents someone who knows what they want. And they recognize the gift of stillness. What does this mean? It means that the crocodile energy waits and withdraws, gathers energy so that when it's time to strike, it'll do so with a lot more energy and a lot more, I want to say, return in the end. That's how I want to say it. So the crocodile energy is asking you to, again, crocodiles live in water and in land, so they're both comfortable in intellect and in emotions. But this is about lurking in the depths of your emotions and seeing what you can find. Not necessarily because you're looking for something bad, but because you want to observe. And the observing is what allows you to connect with yourself more. I hope this is making sense. I'm partly channeling here. Another message of this card, of this energy, is take the time to be still, to recharge your batteries, to reevaluate, to wait until the conditions are right to move on to the next step, whatever it is that is in your life. There's a sense of contemplation here as well about what's next. So he's not charging, he's kind of cooling off. So it's a period of cooling off, which if you are healing your energy, I could see how you would need time to cool off. And last but not least, you have the bee. Now, why is the bee showing up? So when I see this card, I'm getting here a sense of irritation, whether it's because you are stuck, whether it's because you're constantly working by giving, whether it's because it's too much, whether it's because you're doing things for other people. There's a message here of being overworked or overgiven. You have been overgiving. And when that happens, resentment builds, we get frustrated, we get angry, and we're generally then more fiery and not necessarily in the best way. So this talks about possibly being stingy. And if you find yourself on the short end of the stick with regards to your emotions, and you're all fired up, and you're prickly and angry and just irritated, it's time to retreat and examine your emotions, okay? Because frustration is a manifestation of something deeper. It's a reaction. So that's what this card talks about. For some of you, this is an interesting message. You need to sleep less. Why would anybody need to sleep less? I guess if somebody sleeps 14 hours a day, so that's not going to be for a lot of you, okay? But this message also of sleeping less can connect to someone who's kind of feeling blue, not feeling really like doing anything. So that there might be some low feelings, and I feel that's why this message is coming up. So obviously not for very many of you. Then I said, okay, show me 3 cards with tarot. 4 came up, so there again. You have 7 of Wands, you have the Sun in reverse, you have the 8 of Wands in reverse, and then I asked for clarification, but actually the question was, what's the advice? And you have Knight of Cups. So what I'm seeing here is that there is definitely something you are trying to either put across to someone, or you're having a fight with someone, misunderstanding. All this could also be a fight within you, a struggle within you. But this can be career, but I feel this is emotions. So you might be fighting with somebody physically speaking, as in speaking words, or this may be a conflict within yourself. Because the 8 of Wands is shown to me in reverse, it's also showing me that you might be at conflict with yourself, or not at odds, having inner fight with yourself because things are not moving as fast as you want them to, or the way you would want them to, or the way you would want them to. And that may cause a bit of I'm not going to say depression, but I'm going to say lack of clarity. What I feel here is in the month of June, there's an opportunity to, for some of you, be financially very solid. So that's for some of you. but there's an opportunity for you to release some old, deep-seated wounds. Some of it could be around parents, some of it could be around, siblings and whoever else. But it is about, I'm hearing the word not enough. And I think all of us feel that on some level at some point in our life. But I'm talking about a persistent feeling throughout years of feeling not enough. Whether it's not enough love, not enough understanding, not enough support, whatever not enough is, it does come from lack of abundance on a certain level. So when I said, what is the advice here? I got the Knight of Cups, but the way it was shown to me, right away I heard the words move on. So this is to me about emotionally moving on from a situation, perhaps that's not for you, and you know better, okay? Perhaps this is from some things that are in the past, but you haven't fully integrated within yourself yet. And again, you've got the healing card on several occasions here with different cards. So there's an aspect of healing your inner wounds. But the message here is move on. Either take your emotions somewhere else. In other words, no, that's not the right way of saying it. How do I say it differently? Focus in a different direction. Focus your emotions in different directions. Or emotionally just focus in a different direction. I also want to say walk away. So for some of you, there's a need to walk away from something. Need to walk away from somebody, perhaps, a situation, or somebody or somebody's. But if something is not going the way you want, if you're having conflict with someone, if things are not moving on, maybe it's time to see why that's the case. And although you do have the message of it's not time to move on yet, this is about emotionally moving away from a situation. And I always say we can move on physically, but emotionally still be stuck. Or we can live in the same space or be in the same space and emotionally disconnect or withdraw or disconnect. And it's totally workable. So physical move doesn't necessarily indicate an emotional closure. Not at all. And I think that's all I have for you. Big month for you. I feel a very big month. And I also feel some of you have been feeling this in April, so a couple months back. But I feel this is going to be the theme for many of you from now until November. And I believe November is your month. So I want to say till the end of the year. This is not just 1 month energy. But again, talking about Uranus, it affects every single one of us. So I could see how this would be affecting you in this particular way. Is there anything that that I want to say? The message I have, take the noose off your neck. So if you have been hanging, it's time to loosen up that noose, which what the message truly means is whatever you're dealing with right now, you have the power to change it. If not physically, you have the power to change how you emotionally connect to it or how it emotionally affects you. Okay? And then I hear finished business. So that's all I have for you. I hope this makes sense on some level at some point. Listen to it at the end of the month if this doesn't make sense to you at the beginning. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and watching. Thank you for your comments. I love them. If you would like to comment, please do. I read every single one. And of course, for private sessions, because this is general reading, the information is down below for you. Thank you so much once again. I wish you best of luck. Wonderful month of June, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye.